ABC DVD, Two Brothers' Alphabetic Journey, through a DVD collection that always reads the byline first. I'm Noah.
I'm Josh.
And today we're doing Naked Gun 2.5.
Colon.
Colon. What is it?
The Smell of Fear. Yes, I last week said incorrectly that there was no taglines to these Naked Gun films, but
They all have a tagline.
Yeah, so this, I guess, should have been under S for Smell of Fear. And so, yeah, welcome to ABC DVD, where the rules are made up and the titles don't matter.
Exactly. Yay, I'm Noah.
I'm Josh.
Yes. So, yes, we are not bad, doing Naked Gun 2.5.
It's fine.
I could have had Sean Connery,
doing
a mystery as a monk. But no, we'll do Leslie Nielsen solving this crime.
It was just to mix up the movies and force us to watch movies we might not want to watch.
But I do want to watch this.
I know, but
I do also want to watch Name of the Rose, in case you're wondering what that Sean Connery film is.
Yeah, so I screwed up, but we had already
revel in it. Revel in it. Josh was wrong.
It was just so that we would have it in, but okay, sure, why not? But yeah, Naked Gun 2.5.
Yes.
The Smell of Fear.
The Smell of Fear, 1991.
Yep.
So very much similar to Naked Gun 1.
Files from Police Squad.
Files from Police Squad. Directed by David Zucker.
Yep.
Who was known for Airplane, Scary Movie 4. I had to look up, like, was it all the scary movies? No, it was number 4.
I remember when he did it, he actually had Leslie Nielsen come in and do his airplane line, and I was kind of annoyed about that. But
yes. Yeah. And Top Secret.
Yeah.
Writers are David Zucker, Jim Abrams, who does Hot Shots, Airplane, Police Squad, and the other Zucker.
Yeah, the other.
But I'm not. It's like, no, you don't get. You're number 3. You don't get to be put in my list.
Yeah.
Starring Leslie Nielsen. Leslie,
you have done
Airplane, Naked Gun, Wrongly Accused, all the spoofs of the Zuckers.
He's the captain in the Poseidon Adventure. Do you want to talk about?
I do like the Poseidon Adventure.
And he's such a small role in that.
He's such a small role. Priscilla, Presley, which was also the Naked Guns.
Yep.
And the one that wasn't was The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Okay.
Which I have no idea.
Yeah, I know.
And George Kimley, who was the chief, who is in Cool Hand Luke and Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
You don't want to use Robert Goulet as the bad guy.
This is
what IMDb.
This is what IMDb chose as who are the top 3.
Fair enough.
We will come to them in the story.
All right.
And I will let you talk about all the things that they're in. So, if you need a synopsis of this.
Yeah, how is this movie?
Lieutenant Frank Drebin returns for more madcap hijinks in this police procedural spoof. Powerful energy corporations are intent on putting a halt to the eco-friendly plans of Dr. Albert Meinheim.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of the story in a nutshell.
I mean, it's Naked Gun 1, but with an environmentalist twist.
I was just thinking, does this have less plot than the first one? Because I feel like it does. It's more nuttiness, less plot.
I mean, it's very similar with the other Abrams. Like, they put all their good stuff in the first movie, like Airplane versus Airplane 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is like, well, we could do all the stuff we didn't think was quite as funny for the first one, and then, stretch it out with some kind of plot.
Yeah.
But it is lighter.
Yeah, so we will go through the story.
It's more of what
I think we're going to be pointing out, this joke is funny, this joke needs context, and this joke doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So we start out as this is going to take place in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
This, I think, in this period is they are making fun of George H. Bush.
Yeah, the first Bush. The first Bush.
And they did this in Hot Shots, and they did this.
Yeah.
This was a very big target. For those who need a history lesson, the
state dinners for Bush did not go well.
He's very much, using his hands and talking about this is good, this is bad.
Yeah.
This was his shtick. Then SNL made fun of it. This
all
was
the time. Yeah, Dana Carvey made a life out of it. Yeah.
But there's a state dinner, and Barbara Bush gets just destroyed, and all these things. He's getting punched, getting pummeled.
And what's sad is when she actually genuinely died, someone posted a picture of this where she gets hit, and I was like, rest in peace, Barbara Bush. Like, this is so uncouth, and I'm laughing so hard when you did that.
But I the things I thought were cute. I'm also gonna point out things that I didn't get as a kid.
Oh yeah,
but now
as an adult, who knows the history?
That the acronyms of the various corporations.
I did love
Spill
that.
is oil, smoke is coal, and kaboom is nuclear.
Yeah, that was all good.
I also enjoyed the lobster shtick.
Yes, yeah.
Only because it is that thing of Naked Gun where it's like someone is being completely outlandish and everyone is ignoring them. But the pinching of the person.
Oh yeah, the pinching of the chief with the lobster claw was like, yeah, no, we're going to. It's like, you're not going to pay attention to John Sununu.
Yeah, you're
going to pay attention to Frank Drebin and his lobster.
Yeah, going all over the place.
Yeah, it's very similar to like King Ralph and the quail.
Yeah, shooting down
the line. It's like, if you have a fancy dinner, someone has to be a buffoon.
Yes, the crux of this, of the real story is that the president is going to do an energy summit and he's going to base the new energy policy of the U.S. on Dr. Meinheim or Dr. Dursley.
Yes, and as anyone knows, any Republicans post-Reagan, that's not going to happen whatsoever. So this is a nice fantasy film we're in. And I always have like this kind of feeling when I watch environmental movies from the past, because like Silent Runnings is one from like the 1970s as a sci-fi movie, or this, where it's like, oh, we did know the environment needed to be protected. We just chose not to.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily they talk about like the ozone layer being gone. It's like, hey, we did fix that one thing. We did actually.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Almost there.
Yeah.
I mean, I do find it funny. And I mean, it is at the time, and it's not a good guy yet, but like the nuclear energy is like, oh, they're just as bad as well. It's like right now, it's like they're the redhead stepchild we don't want to talk about.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, they provide less emissions, but what they do provide is like, yeah, that's like 1,000 years, and we don't know how to take care of things for 50 years. So,
but that is the crux.
Yeah.
And then we get the iconic siren opening.
Yes.
Which they dive into the farce quicker than they did the first one.
Yeah.
Where it goes to a bullfight.
Yeah, bull-mounted bumper cars.
A
swimsuit competition.
I called it a nightclub.
It could have been a nightclub. Either one.
Yep. A bowling alley.
The birth canal.
Which reminded me so much of the Monty Python.
Meaning of life. Yeah.
Where it's like, you get this kind of internal like look. It's like, okay, yeah,
sure, why not?
And then
Zsa Zsa
Gabor, which this is going to be context because this is a historical joke that is lost to time. Is she had made headlines because she had run a red light
and then slapped the police car.
Oh no, she slapped the police officer, and that was the whole big thing. Her getting out slapping is like always when I'm going out to the grocery
shopping.
store.
Yeah.
And just for context, Zsa Zsa Gabor was a actress of the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, we're back. Jane's back. She's crying and she's upset and she has a clipping from the first movie.
Yeah. She's wondering if it's raining outside. She's looking out the window.
She misses Frank and
but she's working for the doctor.
She's working for the doctor, so she's
she's embedded again.
Exactly. A cute little. This is a. Look at this bomb. Oh, this is a nice clock, but it's off.
Yeah, it's there's a bomb threat or attack on the doctor, but then the inept
security guard
is like, oh, it's got the wrong time. Let me fix that, and then they blow everything up.
Goes boom.
Yeah.
Frank is called in. Things to point out is the chalk art.
Yeah, no. So like in the first one, they had fun with the chalk art. This one, I quite enjoyed the Egyptian hieroglyphic. I also enjoyed in the pane glass window in the background, you could see a outline of a person through the glass.
Yes, and there's also a stick figure. So I mean, there's lots of fun hidden things.
Yeah,
but we'll point out when we can. The
looking, she's looking really rough. She's had a hard time.
Not that bad.
And it's like it's Quasimodo. I was like, not that bad, Frank.
We have something that was in the first one that's not as much as this one is the voiceover.
Yeah.
Of the kind of the hardboiled
the hardboiled. We don't get as many of those fun little like like in the first one, the one that made me laugh, like a blind man at an orgy. I'll just have to feel my way out.
This one doesn't work.
It doesn't have that.
It all comes down to like he says all these sexual things like my mother. It's like, well, that's just weird.
But it's just like she has breasts that just say, "Hey, look at me."
It's like the joke doesn't land as well.
Yeah, and again, like I said, they used up all their really good A material in the first one. But
you get a little backstory that they were supposed to be married and they didn't.
They didn't.
That Dr. Meinheim never forgets a face.
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
I quite enjoyed the joke of while they're walking through the factory. It's like, oh, he's like a white guy. He's got a mustache that's 6'3". It's like, that's a big mustache.
That's a big mustache. No, and those lines remind me
Yeah.
of Airplane, of like
Yeah.
playing with words.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the sketch artist.
Oh,
It's like,
oh, yes.
can we get the sketch artist who's not really lonely? Because all the sketch, it's these kind of like
Barbarella kind
yes,
of like,
thank you.
the fantasy, that armor is not going to protect anything, but it's scantily clad.
yeah. So I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then we're introduced to Quentin, who is totally not evil.
Not evil. Robert Goulet. Yeah.
Yeah, who you might have seen in like Beetlejuice, and
Yeah.
he's
I
always,
mean, he's a singer, and he's usually up for doing these weird movies, because I remember, I think he's in like UHF as like singing on the bayou with Robert Goulet or something like that.
Yeah.
He's willing to make fun of himself.
oh yeah, and I mean he is
Yeah.
like the Rhett Butler kind of
Yeah.
look of like I can be smarmy.
Yeah, and it is I guess a callback to the actual TV show's Files from Police Squad, because he was in an episode.
Okay,
I think it was in like an episode 3, and he was like either the murder victim or the murderer. Or something
gotcha.
like
But
that.
he's dating Jane,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's totally not evil.
He's not evil, because like Jane was involved with the last bad guy. There's no way she could be involved with
She's got a type.
She's got a type. Yeah.
Then we go to the bar,
The sad club.
the sad blues bar.
Yeah. Of like, there's the Hindenburg on the wall.
Yeah, there's all these disasters.
The
It's like-
sinking of the Titanic or the Lusitania. I don't know which
Yeah.
one it was supposed to be.
but
Mr. Rogers.
There's Mr. Rogers. I'm like, I feel like that's just like a dig.
You know,
Like, no, Mr. Rogers is so nice, but you know,
it's depressing. Mr. Rogers is like, wait, what?
maybe he's so happy that you're sad because
yeah,
you're not him.
Yeah.
A callback to something that I remember. And this is also why I don't chastise my children for rewatching scenes over and over and
Yeah.
over again. Is I remember watching this with you as a kid,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Play our song," and he
And
does "Ding Dong,"
we
and I
laughed so
remember
hard.
laughing so hard. We probably watched it like
Yeah.
5 times in a row because it's so
Stupid.
stupid.
And it's a Casablanca reference that they just destroy with their
But yeah, but I mean, there's lots of things in
the Black Russian visual gag
Yeah.
of like something, you're
You're mixing.
strong. And it's like an actual person's like, mix me a Black Russian, like, and they're looking at the camera, like, no,
No,
we're not
we're
gonna
not
find
gonna-
one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, just things like there's the
Yeah.
3-handed slap.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of
Yeah. I do like the again, more environmentalist talk of, I burned down that 100 acres of rainforest. Do you know how hard it is to displace it? It's like, oh, this is actually still happening.
yeah.
But
So for plot, we now go to a warehouse where they have now kidnapped Dr. Meinheim and replaced him with an actor,
yeah.
which I have to give it to, because I mean, I think most people know this actor more as Mr. Dursley from
Harry
Potter.
Yeah.
But to see him like put
Yeah.
on like a Texas accent and kind
It's
of
Richard Griffiths, if you were wondering who the actor's name is. But yeah.
just it is fun to see
Yeah. Him.
a British actor
Well,
put on a Texas
And
drawl.
I love the visual joke of he takes off the mustache, he takes off the beard, and then he pulls off what is like a crew cut haircut to have this giant black
mullet.
of hair.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
So it's cute.
it is. Yeah.
This is like one of those
Yeah.
like one of the very few scenes where the plot goes forward.
Yeah.
We get for the police squad is like we go talk to the lab boys.
Yes. And usually this is where they're supposed to have a lot of fun, but they didn't do as much with this one.
No, it's like they were like looking for clues and they found a dinosaur fossil.
They
and
found Noah's Ark, and then that he's gonna go on Geraldo. And it's like, oh, for all these, it's like, no, I'm married to a transvestite.
Yeah, which is very much of the time. And you think you're Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
We do a who's on first.
Yeah, the boxing names of all the place locations. This is a Files from Police Squad staple.
Yeah, I mean it's very Zucker. It's like how can we do like
How can
yuck,
we-
yuck, yuck, yuck.
Can you purposely misunderstand the scene and keep it going?
Yes.
With this, but it is like, it's impressive just to memorize that.
Yeah, no, I mean give it to them.
Yeah.
They do a
Little
Illy visual gag with the driving through
the Coliseum. And,
the sex shop.
yep.
We're gonna bug the van.
Yeah.
I do appreciate this. This is a joke that I did not get as a kid.
Yeah.
It's like, is this some kind of bust? And he
Yeah,
goes-
it's like,
he goes,
no.
They're very nice.
They're very nice, yeah. Because
Oh,
she's showing
it's
a
a
lot of
boob
cleavage.
joke I didn't get as a kid.
She's showing a lot of cleavage, yeah. But yeah, we get a lot of sex. The motor-powered
dildo
and all this.
I mean,
as O.J. Simpson's trying under the car doing his slapstick.
Yeah, I mean,
and then,
these scenes are kind of lost because, like, they chase the murderer, they do the tank, animals. It's like it's a lot of shtick.
It's a lot of slapstick. It's a lot of stuff. We get the Alamo soldiers at the shootout. That's kind of
yeah.
But yeah, Frank with the tank allows the guy to get away. But then we get to go to the party, and this is where I actually have to kind of roll my eyes, but still appreciate it when the chief's talking to Frank and saying, because of you and that allowing all the animals out of the zoo, don't you know that this town is overrun by baboons? It's like, well, that's kind of the fault of the voters. There's an actual rim shot from the band. Yeah. So,
but yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate the dance scene. This is, I think this is classic Zucker.
Oh yeah,
where it's like you have two people who then
have to have their conversation, but instead of doing like a tango or slow dance, they're going to do the silliest dance,
the silliest, most outrageous dance that is really well done.
Yeah.
The only other thing from this,
do you gamble? Every time I order out, like,
which I appreciate that.
I do that.
There's the wheelchair malfunction.
Yes.
It's like not much going here.
Yeah, then we get a lot of references. Like we're got the door prizes to the Gilligan Islands.
Yes.
The wheelchair malfunction gives us an ET reference.
Yes.
It's just there for why the heck
cheap jokes.
Yeah, and then we go back to Jane's house, and
she got a lot of pets. She got a lot of pets. I was
really, very deep refrigerator.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, it's after, it's like, I really wanted a Zool reference at that point. It's like,
there's a demon in there as well with the eggs, but
I appreciate the shower song.
So yeah, memories. This is oddly something that has stuck with me for a very long time, because every time I hear the song Memories, I'll kind of start singing along, and then I'll get to that part. And was it so different now? It's like
I feel like
very operatic.
This could work in any movie. It's like you just get that one song where it's like I have to sing along with it. Yeah. I mean, I know South Park made a joke with like, I'm sailing away, the Cartman has to finish the song. Like, but that is what this is referencing. Like, there's always that one song where like, damn it, if you start singing it, I have to finish it. The water balloon bad guy still works.
Yes,
I mean, it's silly.
Yeah,
it's
like stuff the fire hose in his mouth,
and you just hear him pop.
I was like, baby, don't go out there
until they shampoo the carpet.
To the carpets. Yeah.
And then like she's still in love with him, and we get a very long, protracted ghost scene.
Yes, the ghost parody of Unchained Melody, and
then all the cutscenes of like all the euphemisms of
like flowers opening, raising the obelisk from Ten Commandments.
I think it's 10 Commandments.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised.
And then trains and fireworks and
like,
oil. It's like, no, they are making fun of.
It's all the jokes that probably didn't happen in the first movie.
One. Yeah, and then her breaking all the headboard, things.
Fast forward to like, we're going to stake out this warehouse. We're going to, break it. This one was very long and protracted to me to get to where we are. It's like, I know there's a joke about the raw sewage. There's a joke about the dog getting pulled up. There's,
and then we also have the random commercials of making fun of the Exxon Valdez,
which I did find funny.
Yeah. The tanker captains being drunk and having their little playground train facility, and then the nuclear
with the dog with
the two tails. We didn't get a coal one, unfortunately. But
I know, but
I don't think there was anything funny there.
Nothing. I mean, it is a the problem with a sequel like this is you feel like a lot of jokes are being padded because the movie's not going to be long enough to support the story, and that's what happens here. Frank gets captured. They get tied up for a whole thing of like, I'm going to like, how many things can we knock on Dr. Mannheim's head?
Yeah. And then I do appreciate the joke of the chief wanting to fight the goon. It's like, I'm just another man. It's like, okay, chief, that's done. That's enough. And he's knocked out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's a good.
It is playing with your expectations. To the final scene of the press club.
Yeah.
This is one of those memories that stuck with me of this movie. What I remember is I do remember the mariachi.
Yes, the mariachi band. That's how they snuck in. Yeah.
Because it's like, it's such bad singing.
Yeah.
It's bad Spanish.
Yeah.
And they're just going along with it.
Yeah. But it's not a thing of OJ can play the trumpet, man.
And they're trying to get the bad Dr. Mannheim with the good Dr. Mannheim.
There's a mix up, and then Frank kind of that it's the real Dr. Mindhammer accidentally.
Yeah, shaking his cheeks. And
shaking his cheeks.
I do appreciate when they say, like, that man's, he's a guilty man. And a bunch of people
like
stand up.
Four or five different guys take hostages.
It's like, that feels very DC.
It
Like, that would really happen.
Yeah. The slippery floor chase.
Yeah, a silly shootout.
Yeah, and again, this is a repeat joke from the first one.
I know.
Having the guns right, the cutaway of them firing at each other, and then it happens that they're 3 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the XCOM shot, because if you ever played that game, you have a 95% chance of hitting that person, and you still miss.
Yeah, you're right in front with a shotgun. You still missed.
You still missed. Yeah.
There's a nuke that's just gonna blow up the one building. I'm like,
I don't think that's how nukes work.
I don't think that's how nukes.
It's like they'll all be buried in rubble. It's like, if there's a nuke, there will be no rubble here. There will be nothing.
But that's okay.
Here.
It's just what this movie is.
Yeah.
This is not Broken Arrow or the Sum of All Fears.
Yeah. I did like when Frank is interrogating the corpses and one dies. I was like, no, I heard that. It's like, oh, where did he leave off? Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, here.
And it's like, if you're gonna be a jerk about it,
I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is that countdown thing, and the way they solve it is by unplugging it.
Yeah, he accidentally unplugs it. It's like, yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, and then he gets
Dr. Quinn's, Quinn's knocked off the roof.
He gets mauled by a lion.
I do as an actual fun thing. If you ever want to do this, as I can show my left leaning of during the actual presentation by the doctor, you see a graph in the background showing like Carter had this huge spending in renewable energy.
Yeah, then
it just dips with Reagan. If you ever want to know where America goes wrong, watch this, look at a chart and then just kind of put where the Reagan presidency is. It's just a fun little, hey, that's coincidence.
Is this when things change? Maybe.
Yeah. So,
and then it ends with Barbara getting knocked off.
He asks Jane to marry him again.
Yeah.
Barbara Bush is knocked off.
And then if you want to see how we do this, I take copious notes on these things. This is about a page and a half of things. I have a half page of just the credits.
Yes, the crazy credits.
There is a lot we said this in the first one, but the Zuckers like to hide things.
To encourage you to stay.
And watch the credits.
Who's the worst boy, Noah?
Who is the worst boy?
That's Adolf Hitler, that is.
I also well, what the hell is a grip? Well, that's the person who is responsible for the equipment on set.
Yeah, they go on, and if you have to move something up and down, that's the grip. I love that you have like the working foreman, the traveling foreman, George Foreman with his stats of wins, losses, and knockouts.
There was a General Schwarzkopf, welcome home. That is a reference to one of the head Marine generals of Desert Storm. He was just coming home.
I did like the way they did the cast of like the main actors or people who don't have lines, but we still like them.
They were talking about the painters on set, and then they went to their favorite impressionist painters, which was Van Gogh and Edgar Skippy Degas.
Then there's like stock footage, stock answer. I'll have it ready in the morning.
There was the captains of the scuba squad. Then there was the co-captain, the navigator, Rabbi Brian, and the bombardier.
In case of emergency, go here. In case of tornado, go to the southwest corner of the cellar.
I like all the actors that didn't have names, but we're gonna go off their quotes.
Yeah, it's like we didn't want to give them characters. I also forgot to mention, because we just kind of blew by it, Weird Al is in this movie.
Oh, what? I didn't see him. Where was Weird Al? Okay,
so Weird Al is in all their movies.
We're gonna go back.
Okay, so when Frank goes to the first time goes to the police squad, there's a guy holding up the police, and that's Weird Al. He knocks the door into him.
That's Weird Al.
That's Weird Al.
Wow, it did not look like Weird Al.
Because usually Weird Al plays himself, but this is the one time he plays a character. It's like, you cops are in trouble. And they said it took like 14 takes, and O.J. Simpson, who was usually the stunt guy for his, was feeling bad because Weird Al's leg was super purple.
Oh, no.
But it's like, he's in all of them. That's his cameo in this one. Forgot to mention it.
Right.
Because we kind of just got
pretend like we did it on purpose.
Because we knew where it was. But yeah, he's in this one as well.
I'm not gonna name him, but it is fun to see when they get to the stuntmen.
Yes,
half the stuntmen have fun nicknames.
Yeah, they gave them all their fun quote nicknames in there. But yeah, and
then we
get another. They really love their Bush impressionist.
No, and I appreciate that, and it is also a callback to the first movie of the president's mic is still on in the bathroom, and he's talking like, okay, green energy, good. oil and coal bad.
Yeah. Renewable energy, all those things.
All those,
but again, it's like Bush would never have done that.
No, but I mean, if you lived during the Bush eras, he was so easy to make fun of.
Oh, yeah.
Dana Carvey still does probably the best Bushisms.
I mean, it gets overshadowed because his son was even more fun to make fun of as a president.
Sure. That's Will Ferrell doing that.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was so easy to make fun of
1,000 points a lot. But yeah, that is Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. I mean, not as good as the first one. No. I still quite enjoy it because I think of nostalgia. But
sure.
But the Naked Guns do get progressively worse because I think they progressively run out of new jokes to use.
The third one, which we won't get to, is like the best part of that. I think is the very beginning, which is making fun of the Untouchables,
and all those things.
But the movie is not good, and the Zuckers in general, as time has gone, their shticks get long in the tooth. And they do rehash things, and they just do not progress with. I mean, these kind of movies don't exist anymore. They kind of got a little bit of peak with the scary movies, but then they died out because they get overused.
Yeah, it was hard to be. It's hard to be funny all the time.
Yeah, and it's like then they started, redoing their things over and over. And they're, doing like almost like remakes of their
own stuff. Like I said, when Leslie Nielsen did his airplane line of "We're all counting on you" in Scary Movie 4, it's like, I get that you're referencing yourself, but it's like it just more makes me want to watch Airplane.
Yeah, and it's like, well, and not all remakes work, but you know what remake does work?
Ooh, what?
Our next one.
What's that?
Ocean's 11.
That is a good remake.
And it's like, and I will die on this hill. It's like Ocean's 11, the 2001 version, is better than Ocean's 11, the original.
I mean, there's a few that I have as like that are better than the original, or I feel are better than the original. I don't think there should be much argument on this one,
but
maybe you love Frank Sinatra more.
There might be a Frank Sinatra fan out there going, "Hey!"
But no, this is the great casino heist film with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and tons of others.
A very large cast, where it's one of those movies I can point to. Like, you can have a large star-side cast and have a story as well.
And so hopefully you can watch that before next week. And Naked Gun 2.5 is out there.
It's out there.
So why not?
Why not? If you need a chuckle,
it's not that long.
No, it really isn't.
So well, thanks for coming by.
All right,
bye. That's what we want. Just good enough. That's the subtitle of our podcast. Not good, not bad.
ABC DVD. Just good enough.
Yeah.